More than 900,000 drivers across the UK are risking a £1,000 fine for reasons that will become clear in this video. So welcome back, but if you're new to me, I'm a barrister who helps you understand law. So I'd really appreciate you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. So following a Freedom of Information request, that is a request for information from any public body, which must respond if it's responsible for and holds the information that the information request requires. In this case, the request required the information on the number of drivers that did not renew their driving license when it expired. And in response to this request, the DVLA responded to say that 926,000 odd drivers who were entitled to drive on the last 3rd of September would become out of date in the 12 months leading up to the end of August, meaning if the license is expired, not only does that attract an offence, but they would be driving other than in accordance with a driving licence. Allow me to explain. Every 10 years, all photo card driving licence must be renewed to ensure that the image stays up to date, otherwise it simply may not look like you, and it is required to look like you as the driver. The expiry date of the driving licence can be seen quite clearly in section 4B, and you must return an expired licence to the DVLA, and if you fail to do so, this itself is an offence under the Road Traffic Act 1988, punishable by way of a fine up to £1,000. The DVLA says that it writes to people 56 days before the expiry of the licence, reminding them to renew it or return it if they don't continue to use it. But many drivers either miss the letter, ignore the letter, or simply forget to update the DVLA that they are no longer driving. Of course, if you return the driving licence to the DVLA, you cannot drive because you will not have a licence. But also, if your licence has expired and you continue to drive, then you will be driving other than in accordance with a valid driving licence, which is in itself a separate offence. Now, there are a number of reasons the licence needs to be returned to the DVLA once expired, not least of which because it doubles up as ID, which is another reason that it needs to be accurate and up to date, and therefore renewed and refreshed every 10 years. The application is only a few pounds. It can be done directly on the gov.uk website. You do not need to go through any third-party agent. You do not need to pay any extortionate fees, because as always, when there is something available at a cost and at a fee, there are some companies that try to take extra fees from you, saying that it's an additional service, a more prompt service, and charging you additional fees. But these are very often just a scam. So let this be a reminder to you to check your driver's license now, because around 2.5 million drivers renew their license each year outside of the expiry date, which, considering that's getting on for 5% of all drivers, that's quite a number, meaning each of those drivers will be driving other than in accordance with a valid driving license, which may have implications for your insurance. Many insurance companies will still support you and pick up any claims, but some of them may well have a valid reason to decline your claim, leaving you fully liable for any civil damages to anybody else, including injuries, their vehicles, and so on. Not to mention, in many of those cases, you may be reported for driving other than in accordance with a license. So, as I said, let this be a reminder to you. Go check your license now. Thank me afterwards. Please do hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.